everyone, welcome back again to my channel. This time around, we're gonna be dealing with poetry. So let's start. Last time we have already learned about what do you mean by poetry, right? The poetry. This is a literary work or a literary form that composes verses, lines, and figurative languages. So to further understand it, we'll now be proceeding with poetry. Poetry is basically have been described in various ways. Like according to Thomas Hardy, that poetry is emotion put into measure. While for T.S. Eliot, he believes that immature poets imitate mature poets still. So as different authors try to talk about poetry, which words were not literally presented, but they were figuratively presented. So that's about poetry. So these are the elements of poetry. First, we do have the speaker, theme, diction, imagery, rhyme and rhythm, meter, verse, stanza, and then light breaks. So the speaker is basically the persona who is talking to the poetry. While theme, this is about the central idea. While for diction, this is about the language used by the author. And for the imagery is about the vivid descriptions of the author to a certain word, certain object, certain image. And for the rhyme and rhythm, this is about sounds. And for the meter, this is about the number of syllabication. While for the verses, is it about 4 lines in a stanza like that? And the line breaks, okay? So these are the kinds of poetry that we have for the literary form of poetry. First is the lyric poem. Lyric poem is basically comparatively short, non-narrative poem in which a single speaker presents a state of mind or an emotional state. So this is more of emotion. So the examples of this are the odes, sonnets, the elegy, the songs, the simple lyric. Odes are basically extended lyric poem ascribed to be more serious and complex in form than a simple lyric. While for sonnets, like the Shakespearean sonnet, we do have 14 lines. So different topics are into the sonnets as long as it composed of 14 lines. Next one is about elegy. This is about the laments, death of a person or group of individuals. So it's more of a tribute to certain people like that. Next one is songs. Songs or emotional verses are the ones that we sing. So that is it. Next one is a simple lyric. Simple lyric are the pastorals that describe scenes and objects of nature. So that's simple lyric. Now let's move on to dramatic poetry. Dramatic poetry, this is a lyric work that exhibits dialogue and characterization, which are known to be elements of drama. So, like for example, the monologue of Shakespeare. What else? Wherein speech delivered by an individual into a dramatic performance, wherein they are speaking, but it's in verses, and they're trying to explain themselves and try to tell a story, like the oratorical speeches. So that one. Next one is the soliloquy. Soliloquy is used to develop a character of a speaker by providing information about the revelation of the character's personal thoughts, emotions, and feelings. Both belong to this type. So more of speeches also, but it's more of developing a character of a speaker by providing information. So character's personal thoughts. So we do have also the narrative poetry. Narrative poetry, it is into a poetry form, but it is presented into a story. So the narrative poetry gives a verbal representation in a verse of a sequence of connected events. It propels characters through a plot. It is always told by a narrator. Narrative poems might tell a love story, the story of a father, a son, or the deeds of a hero or heroine. Like for example, epic. The example of that one is the Biag ni Lamang or the Hiligaynon. No. Indira Patra at Sulaiman. So next one, we do have also the metrical tales or like stories. Or like legends like that, and another one is about romances, and then ballads. Okay, so next one is about poetry, which is about writing the demands of different kind of reading. So we do have also, in terms of poetry, we do have what we call two kinds of sonnets, the Italian Petrarchan and the English Shakespearean. So if it's, although both consist of 14 lines, the Italian sonnet is divided into two parts, the octave and the sestet. So the octave, which traces the idea or argument of the sonnet, has rhyme scheme, the A, B, B, A, A, B, B, A. I know you're very familiar with this one. The A sound has the same sound. Well, the B, B, B sound, a different sound, but same sound. Okay? So which extend the idea usually has the rhyme scheme C, D, E, C, D, E. Okay? The English sonnet, on the other hand, is divided into three quatrain. So 4-line stanzas and a couplet. The rhyme scheme is A, B, A, B, C, D, C, D, E, F, E, F, and the G, G, G. The quatrains of the English sonnet opens and develops the idea, and the couplet concludes it. You may look into sonnets of Shakespeare. I think they have different examples. So next one is about the figures of speech. I know you're very familiar with this one, especially the personification, simile, and then the metaphor like that, or the hyperbole. So figures of speech are also referred to as figurative languages. These are words or phrases that express meanings in non-literal way. So the examples of figures of relationship are the following: the simile, wherein two unlike things with a common quality, and they use the word like. While for metaphor, opposite of simile, wherein there is a direct comparison, no using of like. So the clouds are soft cottons in the sky. So next one is personification. These are figurative language wherein they give human qualities to objects and things. So for example, the rain gently kissed my cheeks. So the rain is personified as a human that kissed her cheeks. So next one is about metonymy for the figures of relationship. Metonymy is about refers to using a thing or idea that is not referred to by its own name but a different one, a name of something with which it is closely related. So White House, we connote it with president. Okay, so where are you into the White House, or are you into the home of the president? Now let's now have to synecdoche. Synecdoche uses a part of something to represent the whole, or the whole to represent the part, usually the parts of the body. So the example of that one is ask for a hand. Okay, hand is a part of the body which has the meaning of referring to asking for a woman to marry. Okay, so next one is about allusion. Allusion is a brief and indirect reference to a person, place, or thing, or idea, or historical, culturally, literally, or political significance. So it does not describe in detail the person or thing, so it is just a passing comment, and the writer expects the reader to possess enough knowledge to spot the allusion. So allusion is basically more of symbolism of a certain concept, or a certain situation, or a certain idea. So don't act like a Romeo in front of her. Romeo is a reference to Shakespeare's Romeo, a passionate lover of Juliet in Romeo and Juliet. And the other one is about this place is like a Garden of Eden wherein a garden of God. So representation. So we do have also figures of emphasis. Hyperbole, wherein it talks about exaggeration. So he's running faster than the wind. So exaggeration of, running fast, which is compared to the wind. Okay. Next one is oxymoron. Oxymoron is a word or a combination of words with contradictory meaning, as in bittersweet and open secret. So durian is distinguishedly delicious. I know you're very familiar with durian. Durian has a bad smell, so disgustingly delicious. So disgusting, something negative, and then delicious is about positive. So contradictory meaning. Next one is paradox. Paradox is a statement that appears to hold contradictory ideas but may actually be true. So an example of that one is John is normally abnormal. So contradictory ideas also, but may actually be true. Next one is figures of sound. Figures of sound, alliteration, wherein there is a repetition of same initial sound. So like block, bog, bit, a big buck, black bear. So repetition of B. And next one is the onomatopoeia. Onomatopoeia is the use of words that imitate the sound of machines, animals, like that. So machine is about the noises, beep, broom, clank, zap, bang. So that's the figures of sound. So that's it for the figurative language. So I hope you learned about recalling what you have learned way back in grade 11 and also way back in your junior high school. So stay safe, everyone, and have a nice day. Bye-bye.